Hey guys, scoot to the left a little.
Oh, okay.
Scooch to the left.
Crisscross.
How low can you go? Can
Now go down low.
Welcome to Tablenauts. My name is Max.
I'm Doolin.
And we are back from a Gen Con weekend in which we bought lots of games, played lots of games, saw lots of people, did lots of things, saw Oppenheimer in 70mm IMAX.
Only one of us did that.
Maybe the highlight of the weekend, and we want to talk to you about it. So what we're going to do today is a bit of a round robin-esque thing where Doolin's going to show off his haul while I ask him a few questions, and then we're all just going to cycle in and out. Unfortunately, we're not going to be joined by Kenny today, but maybe he'll talk to you about his haul on the podcast, which you can check out at Board Game Box Office, found wherever podcasts are found.
Nice
now,
plug.
thank you. I am starting off with Overboss Duel. Now, it's important to note, this is a game that we were given by Jillian at Brotherwise Games after we had a meeting with her. We talked about all that they have coming up. We're very excited about several of those games, but this one in particular was available, and she gave it to us for us to try. I like Overboss, but I think I'm going to like this one more than Overboss. Overboss is good, but kind of like chill, and I'm not opposed to chill games. We've had the coffee table game discussion a million times.
Here we go.
But she mentioned in particular that this one's like a lot more interactive, and you can kind of put tiles on other people's board.
A
to
little
mess them up.
meaner,
and I like that. I like
Max
meanness.
likes being mean.
It's true.
Meaner.
I hardly am mean to her. This is Overboss Duel, though. Gonna look forward to it. And I'll tell you what, surprise, the one that's coming next is the one that I'm really excited about, which is Dungeon Kart? Is that what they called it?
Yes.
Which is like the Mario Kart Overboss, and like I'm in. I'm into that one. Can't wait to try that one out. But that's Overboss Duel. Again, we were given this copy by Jillian at Brotherwise Games. Thank you, Jillian.
Hi guys, welcome to Tablenauts. I'm Emily and this is Doolin.
Hey.
Today we're going to be talking about our Gen Con haul, specifically my Gen Con haul.
Yup.
I was not at Gen Con the entire time. I came late Saturday night. Oh. Our dog actually had to have a surgery. He had an abscess tooth and had to have it removed on Thursday when Doolin left to go to Gen Con, so I had to stay home with the dog.
Yeah, poor little dude.
But he's fine now. He's doing great.
Yeah.
So I went later. Doolin bought me some games that I specifically wanted. Here we go. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
Let's go.
So the first one I'm going to talk about is Sea Salt and Paper.
Classic.
This is a really great game. The other two have already talked about it a little bit. I like the art on it. I love the origami. It's so cute. It's tiny. It's kind of like you're collecting things, and you can steal cards from each other. When you lay down certain things, you can say stop, and everybody has to count up their points.
Yeah.
And it's just a really fun, cute little game. We played it for the first time in Canada with Jeff and Jamie from Foster the Meeple when we went to go see them, and we fell in love with it, and we couldn't find it here. So I'm glad we found it at Gen Con.
Yeah.
So that's number one.
I'm going to start with a game that I didn't even really get at Gen Con.
What?
This is Setawatch Swords of the Coin. On the way to Gen Con, Max was like, hey, I've had a copy of this for a year in shrink. Do you want it? And I was like, sure. And it ended up packed with my Gen Con haul, and I technically got it on Gen Con weekend. So, Setawatch Swords of the Coin, baby. We'll put that back here. Have we been leaving them out, or have we been? No. Okay.
You do whatever you want, man.
Yeah. So the first thing is a big one.
It's a big one.
It's a big one.
It's a big
We didn't
one.
think we were gonna get this, but
Not
we'll
at all.
talk about that later. I got a Lorcana deck with some boosters and a deck box, sleeves, all that kind of playmat, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I got Kronk. I got Cusco because I traded you for both of those. I'm pumped about it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a blast of a game.
I'm going to ask a question out of order. Other than seeing people, is this your favorite moment of the convention?
This was number one, other than seeing friends, because that's always going to be
everyone. Seeing Jeff, Jamie, Michelle, Jim, and everyone else that is not the extent of the people that we saw is probably the tops for most of us, except for maybe Emily because she hates people. But other than her, I think that that is going to be.
She's agreeing with
I know.
you on camera.
Lorcana was nuts.
100%. And on top of that, we got to do it together, which was really cool.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Kenny did not get a ticket.
Yeah,
And I
and
felt really
Jeff.
bad. And Jeff didn't either, but we got to hang out with Jamie and also Jenna from Board Game Garden, who is
so
just
delightful.
so awesome.
Yeah.
We loved getting to know her. But this event was so cool. We walk in.
Yeah.
I hopefully will throw in some B-roll here of just how beautiful it was. But on top of like getting this, which was super cool, they gave us quests in order to find certain cards and trade certain cards with other people.
I felt like a kid.
I
again
know, right?
For a
And-
moment.
but-
We also saw like Benita and Casey and
Casey was awesome to talk
Yeah,
to.
several other content creators were there, and it was just like a real. Everybody was excited. Like the energy kind of filled the room. With everyone was just like, "This is crazy." This
Alex
is
and
nuts.
Meg.
Yep, Paradise Games.
Paradise
was there.
Games was there. They were really, really cool. But yeah, it was just really neat getting to meet people, and then on top of that, just hang out with friends and play this, like trade these cards. And these are beautiful.
Yeah, I'll talk
my
more
gosh.
about my specific experience with Lorcana when it comes to me.
Max
I think,
is excited about it.
Yeah, super.
Okay, my next one is Broken and Beautiful. So this one, this is something that we are kind of obsessed with at this point, I guess. The kintsugi, like the art in Japan where something's broken, they put it back together with gold. It makes it stronger and it's worth more. It's more valuable when it's that way. And this is about like kind of, I read the rules and I tried to learn it, but it's kind of like set collection, but each round, like certain pieces of your pottery break, and then you have to repair them with gold, and when you repair them, then they can score you points. So if it's not repaired with gold, it doesn't score points.
Yeah.
I also saw some videos about this one. It says it's really simple and easy to teach and learn, so I think that one's going to be fun.
All right, my next game was from North Star Game Studios. And
North
this
Star
is
and Ice Makes.
Inheritors. And I actually had this on my radar. I think I even mentioned it in our previous video that I was interested in it, mainly because of Maggie and Amy bringing it up.
Oh, really? Okay.
And they love card games, and they said this was great. And I think that was the game I learned the first night that I bought it.
I was like trying to learn Murray the Actual Frog
And Inish.
And Inish.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you were just like, every free moment you walked over to the table and you're like, okay, what am I? And I was
Yeah.
like, man, he really wants to learn that
Yeah,
game.
yeah. I'm very into this. We haven't got a chance to play it yet, but I have learned it, and I'm very pumped to get it to the table.
It looks pretty.
It's
I'm
very
excited.
cool. Next up, we have another, like a sleeper hit for me. I did not have this game on my radar at all, but I demoed this with Michelle and Jash, and immediately like decided this is a great game. This is incredible. And I even thought maybe I can play this with normal cards, and then realized there's
Not
5
really.
suits.
Yeah.
Like, and the card art is beautiful. It was $15. I was like, I might as well just get it. Let's just get it, and we'll play it. And we played it twice since then, and both times I've really liked it. I think this is a very fun card game with some strategy that you like. It's a headspace that you're not normally in when it comes to collecting cards and doing set collection-y stuff. But I like it. I think it's fun. So I'm gonna go with the one,
The only
Lorcana, which
good one.
I was also at the Lorcana event, as
was
you're
I.
aware, as they are aware. And that was one of my favorite moments of the con.
Well, that was my question.
Sorry, I was stepping on your feet
there.
There's one of them, like, they talked about having imposter syndrome there.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
me, absolutely the same. I was like,
Me too.
what am I doing here? Especially because, you know, like, I haven't been here the past 2 years. This was really my first con experience as a Tablenaut. So anytime anyone recognized us, at one point a person came and took a picture with us. It said I was their favorite, and I was like, me?
Because you are
And his head got this big.
Yeah, because I am different. Which I'll take it, you know? You can like me for any reason.
Next game is we got invited to an event at like a restaurant offsite at Gen Con, and that was so much fun. We loved it. But they did give us some decks and like play mats and deck boxes and sleeves and I don't even know. And it's just cool to like look through all the cards and see all the art and the characters and like see which ones you have when you open up your packs, and it was just really cool. So
Which you are the only one of us that pulled an Enchanted right? Which is
might.
like the best, or not the best cards, but like the most rare.
I didn't know that. I didn't know nobody else got
Yeah,
one.
Emily has. Don't break into our house.
Booyah.
But potentially,
Okay.
potentially like an $800 or $900
Oh, I
card.
didn't know. Okay, I didn't know no one else got
I
one.
don't know. It's a bit ridiculous. But
There you go.
obviously, in a few weeks, it's not going to be that expensive
Right,
anymore.
exactly.
But pretty cool.
Other than Lorcana, you know, I loved getting to meet people. Finally got to meet Jeff and Jamie for the first time, Michelle and Jim. Got to meet Sam from Lord of the Board. And a couple people from our Discord as well. It was really cool to connect with them. And there's so many things about it that I love.
for sure.
Next up is from Nathan Thornton, our buddy, who's often watching our videos. So if you're watching, I want to say hi. I didn't see you at Gen Con, but I did get your game, and I'm very pumped to play it because it reminds me. Actually, did play it after purchasing it. It reminds me a lot of Tapple, which is a hit that we really like here at Tablenauts, and but it's just a little more complicated. This game, I think, it will be a fun party game. It's for 2 to 10 players, which, I mean, that's a wide margin. I think it would be a really good into a party night or a great way to start a party. But yeah,
I think I was busy playing Sea Salt and Paper, I think, with Kenny, Jash, and Jeff, but you played this with both Heath and Trevor from the Discord, and then Michelle and Jim as well, and was Andrew and Andrew there for that one too?
Andrew and Andrew were not there.
They left at
and
that
then,
point.
It was also Trevor's wife.
Trevor's wife, yep.
Yeah, which I don't remember her name. I'm really, really sorry about that. But yeah, you were awesome at this game too. But really, really fun. Cool. Fun little
Interested
game.
in trying it out for sure.
And there's also for people that aren't good at those games, you can throw in some handicaps, which is good always.
All right, Max, before you grab, or you can go ahead and start grabbing your next game.
All right.
But I do want to ask you,
Yes.
what was your favorite game that was shown at the con?
Ooh, okay, so the one that I really wanted and was unable to get, and that doesn't surprise me because I think there were 20 copies a day, and you had to be in a mad dash to get to it, was Last Light, which I mentioned on our previous Gen Con video as being one that I'd like to see. It just looks super cool, especially for us. It's a game that you can play at wildly different player counts from 2 to 6 or 2 to 8, I think. And it's a 4x game that completes in under 60 minutes, which is just I don't even understand it. It's I can't fathom how that works, but it's beautiful. Everyone's talking about it, saying it's great, and so eventually I'll get to try a copy as well.
When more than 20 copies at a time are available.
When more than 20 copies a day are available. Now here we have Starfighters Rapid Fire, which is a game that we have both covered on the channel and loved. And also I need to mention I kind of do a little bit of work for Alley Cat, but I did purchase this game. This is a 1v1 game where you're navigating a ship and fighting each other. Exactly what it sounds like, to be honest with you. But it's rapid, real time, where you're just throwing dice and assigning them to different places on your board. Super fun. Can't wait to try it. Obviously, the production on this is immensely better than it was when we played the prototype version. So really looking forward to trying Starfighters Rapid Fire again. You've not played this game.
No, but I'm in. Just looking at this art, I'm in.
It's like
100%.
Star Fox, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I don't do a lot of space themed or mech themed stuff, but I love it. Instantly, it appeals to me.
Sure.
So
I think you will like this.
Yeah.
It's chaos and it's delightful.
This was one of the things that I absolutely knew that I was going to get there, and it is Unmatched.
Okay.
I got 3 of the things. They were doing a cool little deal. That was, if you buy 2 sets, you get Little Red Riding Hood and Beowulf for free. And I knew I wanted to get one of the Jurassic Park sets because the reason that I'm excited about Unmatched is their Tales to Amaze cooperative, where you can use any of the past heroes in it as well. And I just love the idea of a literal T-Rex fighting against the Mothman in the alien invasion.
Okay.
And then Spider-Man's my favorite hero, so I knew I had to get Spider-Man. And then they threw this in, and I was like, oh yeah, of course.
Righty.
When in Rome. So
When in Indy.
exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. Next thing I got this on the last day of the con, and I've not played it, but it was one that I kept talking about all weekend. Is I really want to go see that demoed, and from what I can tell, it looks like a push your luck type game. But this is Chicken, and this is by Keymaster Games. And Maddox over at Keymaster gave me the game and the copy before we left the con on Sunday. So thank you very much, Keymaster, and really looking forward to giving this a shot. So You'll hear more about it once we've actually played it, but it is one that caught my eye mostly for the unique packaging and art, which I think they did a great job on, and I'm interested to see if it holds up very well as a game. Hopefully it does.
All right, speaking of playing things.
These are the
segues that you can expect here on Tablenauts. What was your favorite
Where's
play?
the segue, Jash?
Dude, there was a person at Gen Con riding like
The
a
one wheel?
mono-wheel Segway.
In like
that was
full,
ridiculous.
Like RoboCop
yeah,
attire.
dude, I thought he was coming to get me.
Yeah, he was pretty
No,
dope.
but I want one, but I bet they're like $1 million.
Yeah, so my favorite play, it might be anticlimactic or a bit unexciting, but I think Sea Salt and Paper kind of stole the con for me.
Sleeper hit, really.
Yeah, it's just, I played a third of a game on BGA. I literally got made fun of today for doing poorly. Doolin and Jeff made fun of me for doing poorly
As they should.
in this game that I haven't taken a turn of since I learned it. So like, it was one of those things like I didn't even know how to play. I was just clicking buttons. I scored 0 in a round. And you know what?
Nailed
Jeff
it.
scored 0 in a round the following round. So forget about it, Jeff.
Forget
Sea Salt
about
and
it.
Paper is, at least in America, from Pandasaurus. And it's a super fun, light game where you basically have very limited action space as far as like drawing 2, picking 1, or picking up from the discard pile. And you're just collecting sets of cards for points and actions. But I think it has risen to like maybe my favorite of the small box, small commitment, easy chill game. I just really adored it. We played it several times. And though there are many games that I enjoyed from Gen Con, I think that stuck out to me as just like a real highlight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I loved every single play that we had of it. I just love the way it looks.
I know.
The little origami art.
Such a tiny box too.
Yeah.
And I would have legitimately bought it. I went by Pandasaurus on Sunday, but they were sold out. So good for them. I'm glad they sold out, but I missed out on a copy for myself, unfortunately.
The next game I'm going to show off is Sea Salt and Paper.
I love this
Yes,
one.
I know you're a
I
huge
do
fan.
like this one.
This was a game that I bought day one. I went into the Pandasaurus room with Doolin, and he was buying it, and he was talking to me about it, and it was only $15.
It's so tiny and cute.
Right? And I love the art, and I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta.
Next up is a game that it's a game that you used to play a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And you've gotten rid of since. But this version...
Physically. I still enjoy it
Okay.
digitally.
This
I just don't have the physical copy anymore.
This version I've wanted for a really long time. This is Railroad Inc., specifically the Blazing Red Edition. And the reason I really wanted this was because I've fallen in love with the original game. I've played it a lot, but it's started to get to the point where it's a little samey. I know I'm going for the exact same things every single time, and if I don't get them, then it's not going to be a good score. If I do get them, then it's a good score. But in this game, there's some chaos that gets thrown in. Specifically, there's a version that has meteors that drop based off of dice that are getting rolled.
And lava.
Yeah, and lava that's spreading that you can collect. Well, like, there's 2 ways to play. One with lava, one with meteors.
Gotcha.
But the meteors, I think, is a fun, interesting way because you can kind of plan based on where the meteors are moving around because you roll this dice that shows a direction, and you roll this dice that determines a number, and the next meteor falls that direction, that many spaces, and just destroys anything that you had there. And so, like, you can also, after that, build to those meteor places to kind of, like, excavate them and get points on top of that. But, like, it could drop in the middle of your really longest road area, and all of a sudden now you gotta pivot to where you're going. And I think that would make the base game just a little more interesting, a little more chaotic, a little more fun and rowdy. I'm really pumped to try this version.
Next game,
Ooh.
I got 3 of the singles of Final Girl, all in Season 2. I was really excited to finally get The Thing and Alien, most of all. They were the ones I was looking forward to the most in Season 2. And then also, they were selling the Big Bad Wolf in their like starter pack, so it came with the core box and the Big Bad Wolf, and I actually don't have Hans the Butcher, and I was like, well, if they think that this is a fine starter one, then I'll just get this one instead. So I need to get those back.
You got a couple Red Riding Hood things going on here. You had another one.
I didn't even notice that. It was the Gen Con of Red Riding Hood.
So we've talked about like favorite moment probably being the Lorcana, but what was your favorite game that you saw at the convention? Not necessarily one that you played, but one that you saw there.
So I'll go ahead and skip to it because
Okay.
I actually bought it after I saw
Perfect.
it. And that, for me at least, is Wild Tiled West, which is a game I mentioned in our video, but I didn't know a lot about it at the time. I just knew that it was the creator of Dune Imperium. But then
Clank.
we went there, and I got to see that it's this really interesting and kind of deep polyomino game. So, like, in fact, later I'll mention a game by Adam's Apple Games. I was talking with the creator of Planet Unknown, and he was like, have you guys seen Wild Tiled West yet? Like, he was really interested in it. And, like, if that's the case, then I was like, I gotta check this out. I am pumped to table this with people. You have like multiple D20s that you're rolling to determine like where dice are going.
Okay.
And then by where dice are going, you have drafting options for tiles. It is awesome, and I am pumped to try this. It can be played at solo and all the way up to 5, and I just think this is going to be one of the better games of this year. I'm just saying that now. I'm calling it. You heard it here first.
Setting some high expectations.
Wild Tiled West, I think, will be a hit for a lot of people once they get their hands on it.
Well, hey, I want to try it now. Right now.
Next up.
No, like, let's play.
Okay, well, we should cut the video out. Right, that leads me to my first question
Hit me with
for you, which is, out of all the games you saw at Gen Con, whether you bought it, whether you didn't buy it, what was the most stand out to you?
Okay, this one is gonna be, I don't know how to say it. Jash, I might need, it's Nana.
Nana.
Oh.
Nana.
Nah.
No.
Nana, Steve?
Nana.
Which is kind of a new
7.
game? At least for the States, it's not even
I
technically
don't
released
even
here
know.
yet.
I don't even know. So I heard about it from Nick from the Brothers Smurf.
From the Brothers Murph.
And he had it. I don't know how he had it, but he had it. He brought it, and we played it. It was amazing. It's so simple, and yet it's so fun. So everybody at the table, like, you can say, like, Jash, what's your highest card? And he has to flip over his highest card and show it. I can ask another person, like, Max, what's your highest card? He has to flip it over and show it. If you find 3 that match, then you can keep it. And then if, like, as the game goes on, you're trying to, like, remember who has what and what's their highest and what's their lowest. And it's just really fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that it's like the gamers go fish.
It's very cute. The art is adorable. I actually bought it,
yeah.
but I bought the French version, which is called Trio. And I still really like the art on it, too. I'm a Spanish teacher. It's like Papel Picado theme. I thought it was very beautiful.
I'm excited to try it.
Trio, Nana.
I didn't get to play it.
Whatever.
So I'm a little jealous.
So
We had this amazing game of Skull King.
That's a good one.
With, I believe it was me, Doolin, Max, Jeff from Foster the Meeple, and Kenny. And it was a game where round 1, I took the Skull King with a mermaid, which gave me like 50 or 60 points starting out. And I was riding high for the first like half of the game. And then it got to the point where I started betting 0 and like plummeted in points.
it's really hard to bet 0.
I know.
And get it. It's worth it if you can do it, but that is a really fun game.
Max does it every time. I regret the first time I did it, I committed to it for like the rest of the game, and I shouldn't have because I was already doing good. But there was one moment, I'm trying to remember exactly what, but it just had me cackling. I think Jeff bet 0 with like a really high card or something, and when I saw that he had it, I was like, why? And I just died laughing on the table.
Adam's Apple Games, I mentioned, we went over and we talked to them, and I just mentioned, like, hey, thank you so much, because at PAX, I saw their For Humors game.
Right.
And I was like, hey, we would love to cover this. It seems like a game that would be right up our alley, because it's area
Bluffy,
control, but bluffing
negotiation-y.
and negotiation. Like, it's kind of rowdy, like us, you know?
Yeah.
And I mentioned that there's thank you for doing that because we love doing the video. And then he was like, well, here you go. Here, take this. And he gave me Agree to Disagree, which is a party game.
No, he didn't.
But thank you, Max. In this game, you are actually trying to disagree. And so Max has these pieces that don't fit together. But if you flip them around, nope, just one of them, They do fit together. And so what you're going to do on your turn is you're actually going to have a prompt that's played out to all players. And then based on that prompt, it'll be something like, I don't know, something really specific like Canadian hockey. I don't know. And
As opposed to American hockey?
Yeah, Canadian hockey, specifically Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay.
We'll say that. And you choose whether or not you dislike or like that thing.
I don't like anything from Canada.
And then you have to find somebody at the table without them sharing what they believe and choose them to partner up with you based on you thinking them having the opposite answer.
Right.
And then you both have the side that you've chosen. You do the little thing. If it goes all the way in, then it works, and then you get the points. If you do it and it doesn't click, which means if you have 2 dislikes or 2 likes, then you don't get the points. Mm-hmm. And I just think that's interesting because a lot of games revolve around finding people that are similar. But in this game, it's like you want to find the people that you disagree with. Right. I think this would be a lot of fun to play with.
So
Jeff.
Yeah.
From Boston the People.
Yeah. One of the cards is, would you leave Gen Con to go watch a movie in one of the 30 theaters in the world that showcase that format?
And then we would get that point.
Correct.
Yeah. I think we would be good at this game.
Honestly, though, I could do that with anyone in this room and I'd still get the point. But, you know. Then we have Cosmoctopus, which this is by Lucky Duck Games. And we were given this by Devin. Thank you, Devin, and Lucky Duck when we stopped by and talked to him at the booth. And we're excited to try it out. But frankly, I don't know anything about it. Like, I
know
could
2
read
things about
you,
it.
It's got an octopus.
And it's in space.
And it's in space. It's got miniatures and cards and tiles and resources and magnifying glass tokens.
I'm in.
I mean, I'm in. It's got a private investigator for solo and co-op play. It's an engine building, tentacle gathering board game. So that's literally all I know about it. But I can tell you that the cover's cool and I'm excited to try it out.
Yeah. All right. So the next game I'm going to talk about
This one just looks cool.
Yeah, I love it. Tiger and Dragon by Oink Games. Oink Games is a company that I really love. They are a Japanese board game developer, and normally their games are really small. Doolin's gonna give me some, for example.
Yeah, I've played these.
Fake Artist,
I know these.
Startup, Scout, Deep Sea Adventure.
Yeah.
They're all normally this size. So seeing one of this size, I was like, oh, what is this? Which it's a game that's based off an old traditional Japanese, I don't know if it's a card game or just a different tile game, but it's been reworked and it's been modernized and sold to modern audience. And I've been playing this with Erin the past couple days. Yeah, and she has been liking it a lot, so I'm really excited to be able to play it. I'm hoping to play it soon at more than just 2 because I think it would be even better. But I love Oink Games. I wasn't able to get it the first day because it sold out, but they had more copies day 2. And it was the first thing I did as soon as the hall opened, and I went and got it. And I'm really glad that I did, and I'm looking forward to playing it more.
All right.
That's besides the point.
I only have 3 more. I know that I said my haul wasn't that big, but...
Listen, it's not about the size.
Anyway, I'll go ahead and say the answer to the next question.
Okay, what's your favorite play from Gen Con?
My favorite play.
I almost did that, but I wasn't sure.
My favorite play was Shatterpoint.
That's incredible.
And it was one of the last things I got to do at Gen Con. And Jash and I and my dad got to demo this game.
Oh, was your dad on board with this?
He was.
Yeah.
Head over heels with it.
This is right after you left me.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. That is not what happened. Anyway, we played Shatterpoint at our scheduled time. And this game feels like Star Wars Battlefront, the game.
Okay.
What I mean by that is that there are command posts in order to win points for your side that you need to control just by being in certain spots on the map. And that's going to change actually as the game goes on, which is not how Star Wars Battlefront works. But essentially you are battling as these Star Wars characters, whether they're heroes or the clone troopers or the droids, and trying to take these command posts to get enough points to win certain parts of the battle. There are 3 moments of the battle that you want to win 2 of them. But this game is solid. I've never been really into skirmish games that don't have boards that you're moving around on, that they use like those little measuring sticks.
Right.
But this is very, very easy when it comes to that stuff. And I fell in love with it. I mean, so much so that I immediately was like, I gotta have this.
I gotta have Grievous.
I gotta have Grievous.
We already own some, and we want to play this and talk about it. And Kenny's already gone through the hassle of painting a lot of his stuff, and he's like, all right, well, now that you guys like it, you better step up your game.
Yeah.
Me and Kenny weren't able to play in that demo, so I think both him and I, who were honestly probably the two of the four of us that were more excited about Shatterpoint, are ecstatic that you all really loved your demo of it.
Yeah, no, it was great. I did not expect that to be the highlight of the con, but it was.
One of the things I was wondering was, what was your favorite game that was shown at Gen Con?
Okay, so you guys are gonna have to help me with the name. We were walking around the show floor, and there was this game that was a 1 versus many hidden movements.
Flashlight.
Yeah, stifling dark.
I think you're right.
And it was,
It sounds cool.
yes, it invoked the same feelings as like
great shout,
Terrorscape. And we went and we talked with the developers. I don't remember off the top of my head. And they were telling us all about it. It has these little like flashlight overlay pieces that you move about on the hidden movement board. And that shows like where your character can see. And on top of that, all these things that already interested us, they said that it was only like $60. And that price point for what that was sounds incredible. So I believe they said it was only pre-order right now. They weren't selling it there. I think it's going to release in December. But I think that's the thing, other than like things that have already been said, like Shatterpoint, that absolutely like stuck out to me.
What was your favorite moment from the con as a whole?
I'm going back and forth on this one.
You're really debating this. Well,
Yeah.
go ahead and mention both. What is the one and two?
There's several. Like, I just like seeing friends and like hanging out with people. That was really fun for me. But I would say your dad got to come with us on his birthday. I thought it was really cool. Like, he's obsessed with Ravensburger puzzles specifically, and just to see him walk around and be like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, and like go to the puzzle area where everybody's puzzling and they're having competitions and like timing it to see who can do the puzzle the fastest, or just looking at all the Star Wars villainous puzzles. Like, it was just fun to watch him have fun. Another one of my favorite moments was meeting Ben, who did our art for the channel.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite things.
You freaked out.
I flipped out. I was
It's
like,
so cool.
this guy, like, Max paid him to paint or draw, or I don't even know, us for Christmas and our dog. And it was amazing. And just to meet him, I was like, you're really good at art. I didn't even know.
That was really funny because he was like, I swear I've met you before, but I don't
I
think he
don't
has.
think
I think
so.
all he knows is that picture of you that Max
don't
probably
think so.
sent him, which is funny.
And then you showed him our Bino board.
Oh, that was
So cool to me.
that was a really
So
fun moment.
He had designed some art for our like merch store, basically, but this company called Bino, I don't know if we've had it on the channel. It's the soccer.
Not yet, but we will.
It's
we'll
like
show
a
you.
flicking soccer dexterity game. And Doolin had them put the art that Ben designed on our Bino board. So we got a custom Bino board with this beautiful art by Ben. It looks like and feels like turf, like on a soccer field. And his face when he saw the video of his art on this Bino board, like, made my night. So
It was cool.
That
It was
was
very cool. Good answer.
Thanks.
Good answer, Steve.
Sure.
I have two more. We'll go through very quickly. One, not a surprise.
No, we've
at
talked
all.
about this already.
Mission Critical Orbit.
Mission Control Critical.
Mission Control Critical Orbit. This is a game that we got to demo at PAX.
Yes,
with
with
Jeff
Jeff
and
and
Jamie.
Jamie.
We talked about it in our previous video, and immediately when I saw it there, I was like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. I love this game. It's a roll and write
rescue game.
rescue game, cooperative and asymmetric, like all of that stuff.
Reminds you of like keep talking and nobody explodes.
Yes, exactly.
The last melon.
here we go.
So
It's a big one.
Doolin and I were walking the floor, and we passed this game on the way to somewhere else. And after we finished what we were doing, we were like, okay, we need to go back and see this. And it is from Japanime Games, and it is Sushi Boat.
looks awesome.
Yes, it is a like set collection.
This is so you.
It is. It is. It is a set collection, slight worker placement game, where you are getting sushi at a conveyor belt sushi restaurant. And I want to take out this thing just to show why.
very cool.
Literally, this thing right here, the wooden board that it was on, and that's what caught our attention. And we were like, oh, we got to see what this is.
That slides
Yeah.
nice.
And like when you put more on, they like slide each other, and then
that's
it eventually goes through to the other side. And so I was like, I'm in.
It's cool. The art is really cute on there. The little cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So I'm very much looking forward to getting this actually tabled and seeing if it's good. I hope it is.
I hope it is.
If not, then I love it anyway because it's cute.
It's cute.
Yeah.
All right, next game. This is an impulse buy. This is called Jekyll versus Hyde. I have absolutely no idea what this is about. It's a card game, it looks like. It's a trick-taking game, and that's all I needed to know. I've read the book.
You knew that Michelle liked it too.
I knew
That was big.
I knew that Michelle liked it. Typically, Michelle from Second Star to the Left, and I have extremely similar taste in games, so I know if Michelle endorsed it and liked it, then I know that I'm going to like it. I also love this theme. I like the book. I like the theme. I think I'm going to like it. We'll see how it goes.
I think we'll like it.
Even
I think it's only 2 player too.
we
1v1.
we went ahead and took it all out and punched it and stuff, and like even the little token like with his face on both
that's dope.
sides, it's got Jekyll on one.
Like
and
metal?
It's like hefty and really well made, and it's just cool.
And then lastly, actually with a theme that is like my favorite movie of all time, which is The Martian. So
True.
The last one is one that I said I was gonna get. I did get it on the very last day, one of the last copies they had, because I didn't want to carry it around, and I kept putting it off, but I was like, oh, it's going to run out. Sagrada Artisans is the legacy version of one of my favorite games of all time. It has colored pencils. It has, I also got the booster packs, which have like fan-created art that you'll use as your maps, but I'm so excited for this. It's gonna be great. There's no way it's not gonna be
Do you
good.
know like how long of a campaign game that is?
I don't know for sure, so I'm not gonna guess.
No worries.
I think it's somewhere between 12 and 16 scenarios, but then all of the booster packs give you a bunch more. So,
all right, now if you had to pick one more game you haven't already talked about out of your entire haul, the one that you're most excited to play next.
out of my entire haul, Mission Control.
Okay.
Mission Control Critical Orbit. That's just gonna be so fun.
I can't wait.
It's
I'm
gonna be
super
great.
stoked. All right.
Yeah. Thanks,
Moving
Max.
on. Thanks, Jash. Jash, Doolin.
Last question is, what is your absolute favorite play?
Okay, I got that. Okay, so my favorite thing that we played, it's one of my absolute favorite games. It got kind of rowdy. It was so much fun. Was Fuji Flush.
Yeah.
So we had a big, huge group play Fuji Flush.
Got to introduce the game to a
We
few people.
introduced it to a few people. It was super rowdy. It was amazing. I think we were the loudest people in the entire huge room playing games.
No question.
It was so fun, like just a chant like choo-choo train. And it was so fun. Fuji Flush for sure.
Great
Okay,
answers.
I got 2 games left.
Oh yeah,
'Cause I
there's
bought
another
one
one.
online.
I'm actually really excited for the one that's coming in the. That was almost my favorite play.
So I played with Jeff and Jamie, Michelle, and Sam from Lord of the Board. I played Inside Job with them, and I loved it so much. It was kind of a trick-taking game, but at the same time, there's like someone who's the insider, and you don't know who it is, so kind of just social deduction-y.
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out who that inside person is, and everybody's like accusing each other, and it was so fun. So we played that, and Michelle dominated. And we knew it was her, and we couldn't stop her, and it was amazing. She very well played, Michelle. But
go ahead.
I sent you on a mission to go find it,
Yeah.
and it was sold out, so I bought it on the internet.
As were a lot of games at Gen Con, unfortunately. Like, there's so many people. Talk about a cool combination of social deduction and trick taking.
yeah.
I never would have thought that would work, but it does.
I love both of those types of games. So there.
All right, so I feel like this next game, this next question might go hand in hand a little bit. So Max, what was your favorite moment of the con?
This is Disney Lorcana, much like Doolin talked about. It's a game that I had really not no interest in, but like the hype was crazy. I know it's going to be hard to get a hold of, so like I really just wasn't even going to try. I wasn't going to bother.
People were lining up at 6 p.m. the previous day to get in line.
I was not going to bother with Lorcana.
Bonkers.
And then we were invited to the private media event, which was incredible. So cool. The best, probably like maybe the most imposter syndrome I felt as a creator before, where I'm like, why
me?
Am I here?
I'm in shorts.
Yeah, I was in gym shorts and a faded Lord of the Board t-shirt. Thank you, Sam. And it was just such a cool event. Everybody was excited. Like I said, when I was talking to Doolin, I felt like a kid again, like trading cards, not even thinking about like meta, just like, oh, I love that character. Like, I don't know if this card's good or rare or whatever, but that card looks pretty and I want it. And so it kind of like sparked something in me. And I'm really excited to try it out. I've never been a TCG player, ever. I've never played Pokemon. I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! I've never played Magic the Gathering. So this is like a first for me. And it feels pretty interesting to get in on the ground floor with what I think is going to be a pretty approachable trading card game. Now, of course, the event was great. Obviously, we're all going to be biased towards Lorcana because of how much they wined and dined us. But it was one of those things where I took home and played with Kenny, who did not attend the event, unfortunately. And you all went to bed, and we played like 2 games over the next hour or something like that, learning the game, figuring it out. And both came away really excited for it. And Kenny is now wanting to get into it himself. Again, he has no connection to that event, so he is the most unbiased of the bunch of us. But yeah, it's just, I really enjoyed it. Something that's going to be pretty easy to table, fun to collect, and fun to look at. So I'm really excited about Disney Lorcana, and that was probably my favorite, most surprising moment of the convention. And that's my haul.
Is there anything other than Last Light that you were hoping to get that you just weren't able to?
That is a tough question. Sea Salt and Paper, but it was sold out.
Right.
I was really interested in Queen by Midnight, which is Darrington Press's release, which they did have stock there, and I don't think it was as hot an item as Last Light, but they still sold through pretty quickly. And it's one of those that like I really want, but I'm not 100% ready to commit yet. Like I want to see a little more about it. I just saw them like demoing it and talking about it, and it's a Battle Royale deck builder, which sounds sweet, and the art is great. So like it immediately piqued my interest, but I'm gonna wait and see what people have to say about it. But if I could have walked out with any other game other than Last Light, it probably would have been Queen by Midnight.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's my Gen Con 2023 experience.
Last one.
Last one.
This one was probably my most anticipated game from Gen Con.
I found out it sold out too, which I'm actually really happy about. Like I love that like people are buying this game.
Did we buy the other one at Gen Con?
We did not. It was not available at Gen Con. It will be later though.
The first one.
Oh, the first one. Ooh, that's a good question. I think we did.
Yeah.
We bought it at Gen Con last year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we bought the first one at Gen Con last year. We played it, absolutely loved it. We've reviewed it on the channel. We put it all back in the box and gave it to a friend. I don't know if she's played it, but I gave it to her. This is Suspects 2.
Suspect 2, baby!
There are 3 cases to solve in this box. 3 gripping mysteries, it says. All of these are in the style of Agatha Christie. I love reading Agatha Christie books. You use cards to solve these mysteries. You go through and you can search rooms and get cards out of them, read them, see what's going on. This is so fun. I can't wait to do this.
Yeah, the first one is really well written and like some of the better like actual puzzles where you have to really actually think about the clues and what they mean rather than just a card that says this person did it. I have no doubt in my mind that at least this one we will enjoy.
Agree.
I don't have no idea if it'll be as good, but
we're about to find
excited.
out.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Good haul, Emily.
Thank you.
And that actually brings us to the end
is our Gen Con haul
of our video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it. If you made it to this far in the video, clearly you actually do care about us a little bit. In that case, you should like and subscribe. On top of that, you should join our Discord where you can show us any haul that you have, whether it was at Gen Con or just some purchases that you have made. We love talking about that kind of stuff. come and talk to us and tag us, and yeah, you can talk to us and annoy us as much as you want. We won't block you, we promise, as long as you're not a meanie.
Oh.
We love you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.